kannst du reinkommen. Ja, funktioniert noch, oder? Dummer Wichser. Fast schon, oder? Okay. Ha? Was, Vorschläge? Hey, was denn da? Im Suchverlauf müsste die glaube ich drin stehen, ne? Bei dir. Wahrscheinlich nicht. So bekannten, oder? Wow, Alter. Er macht den Verwetter, Alter. Na, ich finde das voll steuert. Da zuerst so voll so Bruder, what the fuck, oder? Wow, aber ein Zuschauer, Alter. Mit das weird. Und der will das ja. Na, aber ab und zu lese ich mal das unten auch so ein bisschen durch, wenn es mir nicht gerade zu viel wird. Und hab das voll interessant gefunden, aber bist du in einer Zeitschleife drinnen oder gerade oder versuchst gerade das ganze Mysterium um diese Stadt zu erkunden. Und jetzt sitzt du auf der Bank, oder? Passiert nichts. Und jetzt sitzt du gerade auf einer Bank und tut gar nichts.
Have you figured it out yet, traveler? Time is ticking away. Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can
Genshin Impact, oder? Also es kann sein, vielleicht in dem Acker einer stirbt nämlich und so. Wäre auch nicht viel krank und so. Ich glaube zwar nicht, dass sterben wird. Aber weißt du, man weiß ja nie. Weil der Storywriter, also es gibt zwar nur den einen Storywriter, nur den einen, der was von Anfang an dabei ist. Aber es ist jetzt auch sehr bekannt da noch dazugekommen, der was so Co-Storywriter ist, also der Zeithälfte von der Story. Und das ist so einer, was eher bekannt ist dafür, dass ein paar Charaktere auch wirklich sterben lässt.
Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
Deswegen, oder? So, jetzt muss ich irgendwelche... Jetzt muss ich in meinen Kopf reingehen und schauen, dass ich da irgendwie wieder was kriege, oder was ich nicht verstehe.
People in Sumeru don't dream. What a strange phenomenon.
Assoziation vorbereiten.
I can't see.
Was da nicht? Was da nicht? Hör dann noch. Scheiße, darum müssen wir das abbrechen.
I've already experienced.
Was da nicht?
Nahida said the
Was da nicht? Literatur, oder?
all the
So.
bizarre spaces I saw
Ah.
outside this.
Und
Those
unbewohnte
spaces
Leute.
reminds me of.
Und Blutsversorgung. Ah, na, doch nicht. Okay.
Doesn't sound right. I need to carefully think things through. All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common.
Stimmt auch nicht. Stimmt das letzte so viel.
Illusions and lies.
Ja, was bedeutet das? Stimmt auch nicht. Stimmt doch das untere, oder was? Oh mein Gott, das geht ja, die Wahrheit ist.
We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the
People in Sumeru
Okay,
think they
jetzt hat sie
don't
gerade.
dream.
Keine Ahnung,
But the
wie ich
truth
was gemacht
is,
habe,
the
aber es
Akasha
passt anscheinend.
steals their dreams without them knowing it.
Das habe ich nie
And
verstanden, das habe
those
ich schon viel
spaces
machen
with no
müssen.
human
Ich habe einfach immer
presence
Deppert drauf
are
gesagt, bis es
stolen
passt hat.
dreams without their... Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big... Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of...
Nein, schon wieder. Ja.
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate.
Stimmt nicht.
It is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power.
Ja, Mann, das stimmt. Das habe
Those
ich nämlich schon vergessen.
dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would explain... But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything more to it than that? Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom. So, in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh? Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still Those faces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, meant those dreamscapes kept
Okay, es wird schon langsam heftig, oder?
Those dreamscape. Grand Sage. My mind. We've already experienced.
Und dann hat das oder Massenproduktion der Träume haben.
Correct. The
So,
Akasha is
ich hatte
keeping
das
each
so.
person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sub-Zero's festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha, and so it continues. So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine. Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get. Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything. All right, last question. Who am I?
The fuck?
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation.
Der Mondhaar.
So you noticed. I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last. That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. Now that you mention it, Nahida,
Ernsthaft?
you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Kusanali.
Du siehst das kleine Mädel vor uns, mit dem wir die ganze Zeit reden. Das ist, es gibt, verschiedene Statusse, was ein Mensch in dem Spiel sein kann. In jedem Gebiet gibt es einen Gott, so wie in Elektrogebiet einen Elektrogott, im Erdgebiet einen Erdgott, im Anfangsgebiet ist der Windgott. Das kleine Mädel ist von den Pflanzen der Gott. Das Spiel ist so cracked, Alter. Hart, Alter. Ich hab mir den anders vorgestellt, Alter. Ich hab mir gedacht, das ist voll so. Ja, so wie die anderen drei einfach, Alter. Die anderen drei schauen aus, Alter. Die schauen wirklich aus, Alter. Und dann kommt noch von Messi, Alter.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions.
Bruder, was hab ich zum Ausfahren, Alter?
You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally blow your mind. Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more sense. Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this, instead of you learning it on your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very deceiving the people of Samara with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do. This after we end the Sabzer's festival Samsara, we have to look into them. How can the sages of the academia do this behind their archon's back? This is ridiculous!
Ich finde das so stark, dass das einfach der Gott ist, oder?
The real sun is long gone. A sun and a moon? Oh, we're out of time today! I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow. See you then.
Sympathisch.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali? Hey! What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good. I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct. Did Dunyarzad already disappear? No way! Are we too late? The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Also ist sie durchgestorben, okay. Freundin, die was uns durch das Gebiet begleitet hat. Ich steht der Name da, Dun, Jasat, oder was weiß ich, wie man es ausspricht. Du bist ja, also, dass du es verstehst, du bist quasi gerade in einer echten Welt, sondern in einer Traumwelt gefangen quasi. Und so wie alle anderen Menschen auch, aber dadurch, dass es halt nur ein Traum ist, bist du halt in der Realität am Schlafen, am Leben. Die war aber krank und ist jetzt halt in echt gestorben und somit ist sie in der Traumwelt ebenfalls verschwunden.
So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad
Aber sie hat
is
gleich
just a
eigentlich
building block of
hergehauen.
the dream that helps to keep it going.
Ich finde das so störend. Das ist das erste Mal, dass in Genshin wirklich wer stirbt.
Puppets are still.
Man merkt, dass da der neue Autor, also der neue Schriftsteller dann doch ein bisschen Hände im Spiel gehabt hat.
They're just there as filler.
Weil normalerweise hat das Genshin nie wirklich da. Sie haben zwar immer wieder so ein bisschen aus der so in Richtung angeteasert, so wie zum Beispiel am Anfang, als du ins Erdgebiet gehst, erfährst du, dass der Erdgott gerade vor deinen Augen gestorben ist, obwohl das dann nicht ist, aber ja.
So you do remember her after
Aber sie haben es nie wirklich richtig da. Aber jetzt hat sie das erste Mal das anscheinend da.
all.
Dafür
Her
auch.
family was overly protective.
Finde ich aber gar nicht so deppert eigentlich. Das hat so ein gewisses Ding, weil was du hast immer so gerechnet, auch so im Elektrogebiet, da hast du mal die Story verstanden, hast, wie sie schreiben, dann hast du gewusst, okay, aber es gerade voll komplett scheiße ausschaut. Am Ende passiert nicht wirklich was mit den Leuten, sie überleben sollen. Aber jetzt ist zum ersten Mal wirklich vergestorben. Das heißt, du weißt jetzt eigentlich in der Zukunft, wenn die Story dann immer weitergeht, weißt du nie, stirbt er jetzt wirklich, überlebt es nicht. Und dann ist es natürlich wieder interessanter zum Spielen eigentlich auch.
Far from it. I'm still a long way off from being... I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sub-Zerus festival.
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sick...
I'm not beating myself
Ah, ich find's stark, dass sie wirklich gestorben ist. Also, voll arg. Jetzt mir nicht gedacht, hat er.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but...
Although the Sub-Zerus festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream.
Hätte man trotzdem nicht gedacht, dass sie frechen lassen.
Means this dream... Huh? Well, if this... Which means,
Es war immer so
with the power of imagination,
Genshin unlike
anything in this
Oder
dream.
nie eine passt eigentlich.
Imagination?
Oder was ist eine passt, sie haben es halt nie dauert.
However, if the dream will
Ich meine, es ist kein drüber kranger Tod so. Es war halt so ein NPC, der mit so in der Stadt immer ein bisschen um dumm da hast.
Going to find them, though.
Aber das war's dann auch schon wieder.
It'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult. As for me, during this time,
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the traveler went?
yes, I want to try something. There must still... Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara...
I'm still a little upset that we've... She was such a good person.
Bin schon gespannt, wann der erste wirkliche Charakter steht, der was auch wirklich relevant in der ganzen Story war.
Simon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own?
Was ist das denn nochmal umsetzen, oder?
Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors beyond their control. Like Nahida. So, who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, is a symbol of the whole Sub-Zero. Let's go ask him.
Ah, jetzt müssen wir den finden, dem was der Traum quasi gehört, wo alle eingesperrt worden sind. Perfekt. Ich bin gespannt, wie es in der Stadt ist, ob da vor die Trauerfeier wegen der einen ist, nämlich vor die hat in der Stadt eigentlich vor die hohe Stellung gehabt. Vor die reiche Alte mit so Söldner und so.
You're back. You left in a hurry last time. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Just, it's a little hard to explain.
An experiment? That came out of nowhere.
Could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sub-Zerus festival tradition or something?
Less questions, more wishing!
Okay. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Ah, das ist die, was gestorben ist.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone. She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle and kind, and all the kids love her. I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Ferris Knight of Flowers is because I'm special.
So, you have a crush on Dunyarzad?
Oh, is it that obvious? When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy Sub-Zerus festival. What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers for the rest of my life. 50 years? 100 years? Okay,
Ja, ich wollte nochmal
that
drauf
was a
drucken,
bit
ja.
much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but that was pretty... Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh, you're...
What?
Fucky? Sorry, but only one portion of Yalda candies per person. Back home you go. Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her appear right in front of me.
Guess he isn't the host of this stream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy. It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her.
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps into the kidnappers. Huh? But Dia can handle them. Hey, Traveler!
Die dahinter, die mit lila Gewand, das ist die, was gestorben ist. Ja, die, was hinten links steht. Das ist die, was gestorben ist in echt. Die, was jetzt da steht, ist nicht der Produktion im Traum selber. Deswegen finde ich das so krank, wie die Story gerade gegangen ist.
Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Why are you so worked up anyway? Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself some backup. Suit yourself.
Eben schon gefragt, wann endlich gegen die kämpfen kann, oder? 100-mal habe ich die Szene schon gesehen, oder? Aber nie bekämpfen können, oder? Steht sich aber nicht so. Ah, komm.
Come on, coward.
Stabilize.
Order guide you. Burn.
Ach so, ist gut.
Try to gather. You want this
Solidify.
Cut to the chase.
The depths beckon. Cascade.
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of her, Paimon just remembered something. Remember how during the first Sub-Zero's festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad because she wanted to pick something up? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out to us the night before the Sub-Zero's festival. Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably still help us more than this... This is the place. It It's rude to enter other people's spaces without permission, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Hey, the windows are unlocked. Okay, Paimon's gonna take a peek inside. This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing inside except this book on the table. Should we open it?
Also, wer glaubt, dass ich das will, jetzt lese, der hat, ja, krass Bruder, oder?
Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like she was always thinking of us even while we were away. Even though she was also busy preparing for the Sub-Zero's festival and had all her health problems to worry about. She must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of the Sub-Zero's festival. If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off? It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's dance of Sub-Zeros.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every single... The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency. I advise that you exercise...
How did things turn out like this? Traveler? You don't have to get involved. He's a sage.
Traveler.
Traveler, what the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the academia, that's another day gone to waste. Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Padisar—
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly—
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Padisaras? Just like the ones—
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away?
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh? You guys are acting weird. Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host. What a surprise!
Also sie Besitzer vom Traum,
Just
okay.
like the example. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu? But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to— How should we make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding?
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendro Arc.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City. So it was about the first—
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to the story. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave her blessing. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too—" The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City, and founded the academia.
So the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story? He never went on his journey?
Yes, but his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon, like the sage in the story.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sub-Zero's festival is almost over too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sub-Zero's as beautiful as we can.
Ah, da kommt der Cutscene, okay. Das ist Schmetterling. Viele
The wait is
Schmetterlinge.
over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, The dance of Sub-Zeros.
Ah, es war klar, dass das ist also mit eins der Finale von dem Akt sein wird. Aber was muss man sagen, bei den Cutscenes geben sie sich wirklich immer Mühe, glaube ich. Dass die so schnell wie möglich machen, oder? Das schaut schon geil aus, jetzt die ganze Stadt und so mit dem Himmel, das schaut schon heftig aus, oder?
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Kommt einfach ein Geist, kommt mal dazu, oder? Aber man merkt, es ist halt vom ersten Akt her, dass die Spannung ziemlich übergenommen haben ist das. Viel in der Stadt, viel zum Reden zwar, viel von der Story her voll geil, aber actionmäßig sehr wenig. Und da hast du in der Cutscene hast du nicht irgendwie so voll den großen Fight, was du anschaust gerade, oder? Weil oder teilweise aus der Cutscene, was glaubst du schaust jetzt gerade einen ganzen Film, oder? Du glaubst du schaust jetzt irgendeinen Actionfilm, oder wo es einfach nur voll angeht. Was hast du jetzt nicht gehabt? Voll. Er hat zuerst das letzte Mal schon was zugeschaut hast. Aber ich glaube dadurch, dass ich glaube ist jetzt. Mal schauen. Vielleicht kommt jetzt ein bisschen Action dann in den nächsten Akt.
She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What usual spot?
Suchen wir nach der Roten, oder? Hey, jetzt doch eh schon erfahren, dass sie tot ist. Dunja-Satz.
Well done, Traveler and Paimon. And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sub-Zeros festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad! You're okay! Oh, don't...
Oh, Traveler Paimon. I have something amazing to tell you. I just had a dream. And I saw Nilou performing the dance of Sub-Zeros.
Warum lebt ihr? Warum lebst du, oder? Die müsste tot sein, oder du müsstest tot sein, oder du darfst da nicht so liegen, oder? Eigentlich hätte man in die Teaser mal gesagt, dass sie auch Figur sterben lassen. Deswegen wundert es mich gerade, dass die noch da ist.
Dunyarzad, did you save her? It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened.
Und sie klingt auch nicht so wie die Kevin eigentlich, die was die Gilde leitet. Aber ich weiß, das ist eigentlich die eine komische Göttin da, die was einfach nicht da verkleidet hat. Aber die müsste tot sein, Alter. Ich wüsste antworten, warum die Fotzen noch lebt, Alter. Danach wieder mal ein bisschen Action-Story dran. Es lauert zwar langsam schon zu viel. Haben es zwei in der Früh, das heißt, ich habe nur 22 Stunden Urlaub, Alter. Am letzten Tag zähle ich meistens 4 Stunden, Alter. Ich überlege so, was tue, aber ich weiß schon, was ich tun werde, Alter. Ich muss ein bisschen zucken, aber schlafen gehen, weil man weggestellt ist, ein bisschen früher heute aufsteht, so um 9 so ungefähr. Oder vielleicht 10, aber eher 9. Oh, ich hab keine drauf. Und dann werde ich morgen wahrscheinlich voll viel Serien schauen, oder alles mögliche, was ich noch eine ballern kann, oder?
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We happened to walk by, so we thought we'd...
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine.
Aha. Okay. Das war's dabei, ja? Das war dabei mal die Story von dem Pflanzengebiet einmal. Ja, es wird sicher noch mehr kommen, das Gebiet ist ja auch noch groß und wir haben ja auch noch die ganzen Sachen und da und alles, da wird sicher noch viel mehr Story kommen, da haben wir auch noch was voll frei. Und da unten ist auch nicht so viel passiert, du warst so kurz in der Stadt, da war nicht viel. Da wird schon noch was kommen, aber es war der erste Akt, der war okay, es hätte aber irgendwie mehr sein können vom Actionreichen her. Weil das sind jetzt halt die Nebenstory mehr. Ich meine, es gibt ja noch die Hauptstory da im Erdgebiet, und die werde ich machen. Und die sollten mehr Action bringen. Im Gebirgsgebiet, also im Erdgebiet, da haben sie auch immer wieder ein bisschen was Neues dazu, in der unteren Kluft zum Beispiel und so. Oh, dann noch ein Scheiß, da druckt's mir so gescheit aus, so nochmal da mit dem Furzen, halt bist du deppert.
Whoa. Well, this place is just as creepy as Paimon remembers it. If it wasn't for our little investigation, Paimon wouldn't ever come anywhere near this place.
Oh, nee, Alter.
Hey, look! There's someone over there.
Es ist das so eine Furzen, die was ich kenne, oder? Ich kauft eigentlich das... Ja, andere ist an der See und das zahlt man nicht, oder? Und so,
Oh, Traveler and Paimon? I didn't expect to see you two here.
Yampe? Shouldn't you be at work in Liyue Harbor? What are you doing out in the middle of nowhere?
Well, to be perfectly honest, this case is a little out of the ordinary. In fact, this is the first time I've ever witnessed the Oh, but before I forget, could you do me a favor, please? If anyone happens to ask about me or my present whereabouts, just tell—
Huh? What are you talking about?
No, it's not like that. So if you could, please just cover for me. I'll see you later.
knows? What in Tibet was that all about? Do you think she did something illegal and now she's gone into hiding here? Or maybe something so... Don't be so... Oh, what a dilemma.
Ah, hvor det
Hey,
kommer nok.
you over there! Yeah, you!
Ito har vi
Someone's coming! But that voice sounds pretty familiar.
Und die Ninja wird da
It's you
wieder,
two.
okay.
So, what are you two doing in a place like this, huh? Wait, don't tell me. I must say, you two are looking pretty good. Things been going your way lately? 'Cause
Ito? Who's that behind you?
Hey there. I'm with the Arataki gang. Kuki Shinobu. Nice to meet you.
Oh, all right. I almost forgot she was back there. Let me introduce...
Oh, another member of Ito's gang!
Let me tell you, she's one of Hanamizaka's best and brightest, so of course she's in the gang. Shinobu takes care of...
A friend of the boss.
Yep. Nice to meet you too, Shinobu.
The pleasure's mine. I have a feeling that we'll be working together soon enough.
Hey, you... Annie...
Bla bla bla.
Her name's
Ah,
Yanja.
ich hab keinen Bock. Gelaber. Gibt's gerade eine Story, ein bisschen Action
When someone is...
auch.
So,
Well, she
she saved your life.
You know that the soccer... Well, she know...
Graduation cert...
Yes. We were taking care of...
Yep. If it wasn't for her, our trip to Liyue would have ended with me and the slammer. So, you know, I just wanted... But she said she didn't need my help with anything. What? No, it's not like people can get into trouble when they're...
Traveler. That way.
Ah, great. Thanks. I'll go after her. Shinobu, time to roll. Fear not, my savior. Ito's coming to your rescue.
Appreciate the help. Until next time.
Traveler, did you just send Ito the wrong way on purpose? Huh. Or maybe she knows that Ito can be a big nuisance, so she's trying to stop him from bothering Yanfei. Oh, if that's the case, then wow, she really... Well, at least this way nobody will be bothering Yanfei. If we run into her again later, we should let her know that we helped her out.
Was machst du gerade, oder? Jetzt bin ich wieder in der großen Kluft unten, oder? Aber große Kluft war eigentlich immer geil. Nicht die kleine, die große. Ich müsste da die große Kluft ja mit sagen, aber Zappen ist irgendwie gerade nicht so, oder? Oder warte mal, ich geh gerade in die Stories rein, oder? Das machen wir nicht, das machen wir auch nicht. Da gehen wir. Wir gehen noch in das Sommer und spielen dort wieder. Was war vorher? Eigentlich wollte ich heute zum Flohmarkt da mal fahren, oder? Aber wie ich aufgewacht bin, war es einfach schon nach 12. So lange habe ich schon ewig nicht mehr geschlafen, oder? Da haben wir gedacht, so, okay. Dann nicht. Dann fick dich. Ich weiß nicht, Flohmarkten. Bisschen stöbern, bisschen handeln. Vielleicht findest du was Gutes, was da. Ab und da gibt es da wahre Schätze, oder? Und du die außerpickst, oder? Dann vielleicht noch ein bisschen geschickliches Händchen hast fürs Verhandeln und Verkauf und Ankauf, oder? So wie ich, oder? Dann
So this is the renowned Mr.
geht da schon ein bisschen was. Dann
I've heard a lot
kannst du
about
gute
you.
Sachen,
It
also
is an honor
für
to
sehr
finally
gute
meet you
Sachen für
today.
wenig Geld finden.
You are too kind.
Weil teilweise
We
von
are currently
Elektrogeschichten
investigating
wissen
an
sie halt
assault
gar
and
nicht,
would
was du
appreciate
eigentlich
any help
verkaufen
you can
kannst.
offer.
Oh,
Und sowas für
you
einen
were targeted in an
Preis.
assault? Let me think. I
Aber ich
can't
bin
seem
immer
to
der
recall
größte
anything of
Hund,
immediate
aber wenn ich schon
interest.
weiß, oder, wenn ich
Mr.
bei Flohmarkt bin
Kaihara
und
is
da sagt
currently
man
the
einen
talk
Preis
of the town, so there are always a lot of
und
people
der
who-
ist schon sehr gut,
To be honest with you,
dann
our
handelt er
detective
trotzdem nur
agency
weiter
has
runter.
recently been receiving many
Sagt immer
inquiries
so,
from people
boah, das
wishing
ist
to
schon
obtain
teuer,
Mr.
oder?
Kaihara's
Geht da
personal
nicht noch was. Ich
information.
meine, meistens geht
Some
nicht
of
der
them were
10
offering
bis
us
maximal
millions
20
or
Euro.
more
Aber,
just to gather the information
aber
they
dann
want.
schlage ich eh schon, weil dann
If
sage ich, ja,
these were
passt schon,
more
machen wir auch.
legitimate commissions, Songo would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of Mora? Whoa. Oh, wait. Even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Deswegen, der war auch uralte Konsolen da für
No
sehr
matter what,
gutes
we
Geld
only
gekauft,
take
oder?
on legitimate cases.
Die
We
was
don't make our money by
einiges
revealing
verwirrt sind.
details of other people's
Uralte
day-to-day
Konsolen.
life just for the sake of it. Sorry.
Den
I got
Super
a little
Nintendo
off
zum
topic.
Beispiel, was der mit den
What I'm
Kassetten noch.
really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete
Original,
stranger is
ja.
looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Natürlich.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out
Wieso?
as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads.
Hä? Wieso?
I thought you might have some information.
Man
from
verkaufen tue ich
different
eher
sources.
weniger nur gerade.
It's true
Ich
that
kauf sie ja
commissioners aren't
und
clued
lass
up about
dann
every little
bei
thing
mir
that goes
noch.
on out in the streets. But typically,
Ich werd
it's only
dir-
the most trivial
Genau.
events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there
Ja.
attacking people, that would be assault. In which case the Tenryou
Also
Commission would
weniger wird's
absolutely
nicht.
get
Sie
involved.
werden schon steigen. Oder bleiben da.
Sense. Uh-oh.
Naja, irgendwann kriegt ich hab's gerade den Status Retro, aber irgendwann kriegt man den Status Antiquität, oder?
Causing any trouble
Schon
elsewhere.
eher interessant.
Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is
Und
certain to have been hurt.
40,
by him.
50 gehalten. Der Scherzteil ist schon 30 Jahre alt. Oder über 30 Jahre. Und weiter. Mhm.
I am well aware of your
Ja, genau.
talents. There is no need
Na,
to be
wieso
humble
nicht? Also,
about
was
me.
der ein bisschen
In fact,
mit
I'm
Köpfchen,
quite
was das
relieved
später
that you were
mal
the one who
gut
targeted.
Cash kriegst. Ich gebe
It
zwar
would
jetzt
cause
einmal
me
ein
great
bisschen
grief to
Geld
see
aus,
someone become critically injured
aber
and
dafür
lose their
später
life because of me.
umso mehr.
For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Sicher, natürlich gibt's da andere Sachen. Uralt-Radios zum Beispiel.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to
Aber nicht nur
fearlessly
das, was
raise
der-
your blade against the
Ich suche auch
almighty
immer so
shogun.
nach Sachen,
You flatter me.
habe immer wieder gesucht, die was
Truth
kaputt
be
sind.
told, I don't know
Sowas
quite
wie,
what came
genau.
over me in that moment.
You are
So
much
was
too
wie
humble.
war zum Beispiel ein
Don't
Super
worry,
Nintendo,
I
den habe ich gekauft
completely
gehabt.
understand
Da
your
war hier, da
concerns.
war aber nicht
I
da ein
will
kleiner
try my
Bauteil
best
hier,
to
den habe
gather
ich nur
whatever leads I
austauscht und
can.
das funktioniert wieder ganz normal.
Oh,
Das war ein
actually,
sehr, sehr guter
there
Deal
was
zum
one
Beispiel, oder?
strange incident over the
Sehr
last
wenig
few
Geld,
days.
oder? Und da war,
It
kommt aber
doesn't
dafür sehr
involve
viel
an
Geld
attack,
raus,
though.
oder?
Let me tell you about it,
Sure. During time.
All right then. One of them is a pretty well-known.
Amenoma.
Right. You two grown men go. I recalled this because Amenoma.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with you.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha.
Yes, the Kaedahara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty Shogun. And over time, unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our... As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water. As it turns, there is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft. As for the art...
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedahara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues...
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to... He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what... But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give... I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato. After that, the next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. And neither of them... Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to...
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of...
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the
What? No. Absolutely. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade. But, with that said, it's equally... I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstance. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met. Let's pay a visit.
Das ist, finde ich, die schönste Stadt irgendwie, oder? Inazuma, oder? Doppeltaste. Achso. Hm? Der Sound vom Stream nix gut. Der Sound vom Stream nicht gut. Also, ja stimmt. Jetzt wird glaube ich Ding. Das nächste Mal, wenn ich stream, tue ich die Stimme außer. Das dann quasi nur noch
I'm
mehr
afraid
das
we
Spiel
don't
selbst
have any
und
new
mich selber nicht
information.
hast.
With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your...
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's so
So, ich kann das nicht anpassen.
To him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. He wouldn't sell them. I'm happy he... On the last day that I...
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things he leaves... You must understand, after I said those words, his voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses. The next thing I heard...
I see. Ame-no-me-yui.
At first, but my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fear...
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the...
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home. As long as he's...
Please don't get upset. If collecting, but the information...
A little confused.
Let's try a change of scenery. Rest assured.
Thank you.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. What started as a disagreement over the price escalated. However, in this case, if this is indeed what... One fact that Mr. Nagato, the more I ponder it, the more right. Ame-no-me-yui...
Darn!
Let's keep going. Since we've come if we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and...
Okay.
Let's head out of this... Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around...
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direct... It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. Indeed. But we should remain vigilant.
So it's an under...
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place. But the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for...
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it... but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests... Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. Step back. I'll open the door and take a look at... If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure...
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's go. Quiet your mind. From this point, the trail appears to split into 2. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly. Quite possibly.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Time for retribution! Solidify!
Don't blink! Ugh! Look at this red stuff!
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. Well, according to this letter, Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse.
So...
He was not only... Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point. Yes, if Ame no Mayuya...
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised for a practitioner. All the clues that... I have a
Wait!
I believe so. On with the search. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered. Show yourself!
Kaede Harakazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Mayuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa! Surely you don't mean...
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any... The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as as a means to occupy Ame no Mayuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy as a descendant of the Kaedehara clan. You should be able to guess our greatest.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, he was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little... And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of... In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also in...
So... swords can become...
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
So Ame no Mayuya, tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when...
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until at long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Ame no Mayuya's body, I have found you. Kaede Harakazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Wind strategy! Time to go.
Shall rewrite history!
Stabilize! Rewrite history! We shall rewrite history!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
We shall rewrite history!
Time to go.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost.
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit. Not even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will. The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My by any means necessary, and any medium available.
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art, but from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and...
Really?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art's secrets. The little that you know barely... In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new hope.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never...
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Amenome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken, I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long...
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from a...
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed even if you were to sever that divine light. Is this truly the outcome that you're... Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, how could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade...
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not... It is pointless to argue further. descendant of the Kaedahara clan. Then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to—
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose...
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Ame no Mayuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be... The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Ame no Mayuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any...
But
even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the adventure. Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.